I'm finding a real fascination with toy haulers right now because my family is somebody who likes to go on trips with motorcycles. In fact, we've done two big motorcycle trips in the last couple months that I've gone on with my family. And so we're now kind of in the mindset, at least my parents are, of looking at something like a toy hauler. And something like this here that we're about to take a look at, this new Jayco Seismic floor plan, is something that might be in the wheelhouse of what might work for my family. So curious what you guys think about it. Come on, let's go take a look. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Myles with Firmly Unbound, and we are here taking a look at this 2026 Jayco Seismic 359 toy hauler. You can see the floor plan right here. It is a tandem axle toy hauler, so it's not a big triple axle toy hauler, which is what I think would make it more suitable for my family. We've never owned any RVs over 40 feet in length, and my dad has definitely expressed that he doesn't really want to. This one does come in at almost 42 feet, but the problem is with toy haulers is you lose so much space to the garage. My stepmom wants a bigger living room arrangement than what is currently in our Cougar 364 BHL. This would accomplish that, at least in terms of the overall floor space, kitchen space, stuff like that. It does not have a dining table. I think that is a compromise that we certainly could live with, but I'd have to, even get my parents' opinion on this video and see what they think. So we're gonna go take a look at this. It's a hard combination to find all the right things within a toy hauler in something that's under 45 to 47 feet, because a lot of these toy haulers even are, they're coming in at 47, 48 feet a lot of times on these triple axles, so it's pretty wild. But nice look on here. This is a standard look that we're gonna see from Jayco Seismic for the 2026 models, so no full body paint on this one here, although you can see some full body paint options around us here. Now we are at this Jayco event that they call their homecoming, where this is basically where they put some new models on display and new units on display for people like myself and dealers to come and take a look at them. It is the last night here of this event, and they do a little celebration type thing. They have some live music playing in this venue right now, and lots of noise going on. So I'm gonna try to run through this as quick as I can and definitely spend a bit more time inside since it is noisy. So let's go ahead and hop inside here. As we come up in here, it does have a shade already installed on the window, so it is there, and I like to see that. We have a latch here for the door. Get that up. Cool. Not a friction hinge door on this, and that's something I've noticed across a few of the Jayco lines is they don't have friction hinge doors. So they do have the latch here to hold the door shut and the stopper, but this door just swings freely. If I push it in just a little bit to close, it's gonna close. So that's something, I don't know why they wouldn't use a friction hinge door, but I don't know, I'm not a decision maker. You have this lipper extended grab handle. I do really like that. I actually would like that for my travel trailer. That's something I might get. Oh, you know why it's closing too? It has the lipper screenshot. So duh, it's gonna close harder than what I was thinking. So that was kind of silly of me to say, but nonetheless, it is a free swinging hinge on there as well, because it does open up just as easily. As we step inside, right away, notice soft gray cabinetry. We got some storage space right here and some controls for this fifth wheel RV. We also have some quick access to drawers right here. This is nice. You could put some plasticware and things like that in here. Stuff you just want quick access to from outside. And then you have dovetail joints on the interior of the drawer constructions. So nice with that little cubby storage there. And then we'll close this door behind us so we can block out some of that noise. I'm seeing it pretty much across the board with the Jayco models that we are dealing with cloth furniture and not a leather style furniture. I particularly like this, and I'm curious your guys' thoughts on what you think, so let me know. But I think it's a really nice touch. It's very soft to the touch as well, and it's something where I just think it's a little bit more comfortable than the leather that we see in a lot of different RVs. You have USB type A ports and an outlet here. I've been talking about this a little bit. I feel like as the RV industry, they just need to go to universal USB type C ports, because I don't think most people even have those traditional USB cables anymore. At least I know I don't. So if you feel differently about that, let me know. But I know I don't own any cables like that anymore. So I would literally have to buy some for that to even be usable for me at this point. As we turn around, you have this U-shaped kitchen. Now, this is something I really like about this floor plan, especially being a little bit of a shorter toy hauler here. So really nice floor plan layout here with the kitchen space and how this is all allocated. You still get an area here with some bar stools, so you do have a spot to sit and eat if you want, but this is a great like serving platform here to put food on and stuff like that. You have a 3-burner gas stove with a little bit smaller oven here. Kind of interesting choice because we will see a lot of other toy haulers in the market that will have that bigger oven and a 4-burner gas stove. So a little bit smaller option here with that, and then the flip up countertop space. Also interesting too, it does not have a solid surface countertop. So this here is going to have a wrapped countertop material and then kind of like a faux tile backsplash. I'm curious what the price point on this is going to come in at. So I'll give you kind of like an estimate on that once we get to the end of the video. We'll see kind of what the price range on this will be. Got your microwave right there, residential size microwave, some storage above that, and then going through some of the storage here. This is open into the corner back there and back through here. Magnet latches to hold these doors closed and no soft close hinge on the cabinet doors. Nice solid hardwood cabinet doors, so these are stained wood on that. And you can see all the storage you have to work with. Love these sinks. This is a very fun sink, charcoal stainless steel color. Going to come with multiple different accessories like some different bins to rinse things out in, cutting boards, stuff like that. And then you have your cup rinser and you have your soap dispenser. And then it is a retractable faucet. Storage underneath here. Nice space with this. They do have individual shutoff valves on the water lines. They're behind this pipe right here, so you can't really see it. But they do have the individual shutoff valves, so that is nice. Also worth noting, they do have a 2-year base warranty on the Jayco products. So that's going to be something where pretty much the rest of the industry does a 1-year standard base warranty. They do a 2-year with Jayco products and then a 3-year structural warranty on these. So that's everything you're working with in the kitchen. As we turn to the right, you have your Everchill refrigerator. Open this up. It is a French door style refrigerator. Looks like this will be a 12-volt refrigerator from what I can tell. You got your freezer portion here. No ice maker in this freezer portion, so just a standard freezer with that. And we got a little bit of pantry storage here. So you can see that, and then a little bit more under here. And as we turn to the left, you have a 50-inch screen TV. It is obviously a little bit angled off to the side here because they're doing a half bath behind this space. Up in the ceiling, we have the MB Court speakers, so speaker here and speaker here. And then we have our AC in this area, which is ducted through the camper. There should be 3 ACs on this toy hauler. And you have the ability to close each individual vent that you have for the ducting so you can get better control of your air when you want to. Around the TV, see what our storage is looking like here. That's actually like decently deep storage. Sometimes around the TV space, we see some pretty shallow storage. But that's actually pretty deep and usable space, so I like that. Really interesting, this is a MB Court touchpad here, so this looks like it's for all of your audio settings, but kind of, what the heck, you got video on here? I wonder how, has an HDMI port on here. And I wonder when it connects to your phone, like if you're able to like watch videos on this. That's so interesting. Trying to see, that's not connected to the cameras right now. But anyways, kind of interesting, big giant touchscreen panel right there for all of your audio connections. So that's definitely different than what we've seen in some other stuff. Have your fireplace here, electric heat source for you with that. And then around here, we have our manual switches. 4 different components on your fifth wheel, things like your slide outs, awnings, and your lights, and then storage around this area. Also have color changing LED lights on the awning lights. So all in all, for the length of this toy hauler, pretty good living space to work with here. And as we go back to the garage, it's an 11-foot garage. They are using D-rings here for their tie downs in the flooring. As we turn around this way, you have a spot to add a backup camera here, or not a backup camera, but more of a camera just to monitor everything while you're going down the road. And okay, so yeah, as I'm looking at this, this is not, it's not coming off as like a top of the line fifth wheel toy hauler. And that's what I was kind of trying to gauge as I was going through here. So I'm again just curious to see the price, because like I can tell that because we don't have a TV installed here in the garage, so that's a clear tell that, you know, anything that's trying to compete with being a top of the line toy hauler is definitely going to put a TV here in the garage, I would think. So unless I'm just crazy, it seems like that's something that certainly is missing to be competitive in the marketplace. But we have a porcelain foot flush toilet. Got your storage here underneath the sink. Big giant plastic bowl sink there, and then no medicine cabinet here, but it does have the big mirror. And then up top, no vent fan in here, so I guess you just open the window for letting in some natural air, since there is no vent fan in this space. Got some storage up above here in the corners, and then again, 11-foot garage. Now with your patio gear, that kind of does condense down to like 10.5 feet, because this patio system here with your doors and when the ramp is in is gonna take up about 6 inches of space. But you do have tinted glass doors here, so that tinted part can go, the glass can go all the way up to the top there, so you get kind of like a 3-season patio door, or you can open them to let some air in. We have the jackknife sofa set up here, so these bolts can come together to make into a bed, like so. So bolts can do that, and they'll come together, make into a bed in this area. You have the bed up over the top as well. So you have 2 beds in this space. That's something that's real appealing for my parents. With the idea of a toy hauler is we would definitely use this space as sleeping space for either someone like myself if I traveled with them without my travel trailer, or my older sister and brother-in-law and their child. Those are all things that, you know, the space would be used for to sleep other guests that would be, you know, coming on trips with us. Have your patio gear set up back here, steps off the back of the patio to get up here, and then this obviously can drop down and make into a ramp as well. But in the patio position, good for 1,500 pounds, and then 3,000 pounds when it's in the ramp position. It does have a assist right here that you can see with getting the patio up. So there's this cable right there to assist in the weight on that. And you have your awning up over the top of this area that will come out. It's an armless awning there, and we got prepped to add a backup camera. As we go forward here, let's go up into the bathroom space. The bathroom and bedroom. The bedroom looks nice. Pass-through bathroom, kind of a different orientation. So many toy haulers have the steps going up to the bedroom on the other side of the camper, so usually it's like on that wall over there. So very interesting to have kind of like a different approach. Ceiling height is not too bad. That's always something I like to check on these toy haulers, because you can see here I'm standing at about 6'2", maybe 6'3" right now with my shoes on, so you have height for probably about 6'4" to the ceiling in this space. Now I do have to duck to go under the doors in this area. So, and then when I go into the shower, let's go ahead and just bring the camera with me. Always something we need to check in the toy haulers. Pretty good height here. Now this shower height skylight orientation just seems completely silly to me, to be completely honest. I mean, that should be this direction, I would think. Why they do it this way just makes no sense to me. Like you obviously would want more space going this way. Maybe it has something to do with where this seam has to go in the ceiling, why they chose to do that. But to me, it seems like something needs to be figured out to make these go this direction. Which is interesting, because so many of the other Jayco products I've looked at here have had like these really big skylights, but for some reason this one does not in the Seismic brand. But other than that, the ceiling height does work for me. I mean, when you're standing in the skylight, you can be probably 6'6", 6'7", maybe. 6'7" might be pushing it. So let's say like 6'5", 6'6". Comfortably. I would have to duck to get under the shower head a little bit, but still doable for sure. You have a good, you know, rectangular shower here. That's something my family would appreciate, because they currently have a corner radius shower in their fifth wheel at the moment. Got your backlit medicine cabinet, smaller vent fan here in this space, and then a stainless steel sink in here with your storage underneath here. There you can see those individual shutoff valves on the water lines. Tankless water heater, outlet in the corner, and then they have a porcelain foot flush toilet, spot for the toilet paper right there. Kind of a nice little convenient spot that they put that. And then you have your 3 shelves right here. Dual entry into the bedroom. So I'm going to step back. We also have a wardrobe slide out right here with big mirrors. This looks like a king size bed here in the bedroom. If not, it might be an Olympic bed. Some of these some of these Jayco brands, they have like a 66 by 80 inch bed. So that's another thing I'll check on before we wrap up to see the exact dimensions of this bed, because I do like to check on that. Have nice LED light there, and then a flat spot here to lay on. So that's nice. Spot for a TV on the wall there. Got your storage here, nice big bedside table, outlets and USB ports here. Again though, USB type A charging ports and not USB type C. Not a huge fan of that. Got your storage space underneath there. I guess if I owned a toy hauler like this, I would just buy a USB type A cable and just keep it in these spots that I want primarily in the camper. But like I said, it's kind of crazy at this point in life. I literally don't own any of those cables anymore. As we sit down here, ooh, this mattress is nice. Not a bad mattress at all. Got big storage through here. You can see how big the mirrors are. And got your storage underneath there. It has dovetail joints on the drawers all throughout, so we've seen that consistently, which is great to see. As we step down, let's go ahead and hop outside. We have liquefied here as we're walking out. This is a black tank treatment for your RV that you can find on Amazon, Walmart, and at Blue Compass stores across the country. It comes in the pod formula, liquid formula, or powder formula, and it's going to liquefy everything that goes into your toilet to make sure it drains out properly, also keeps your RV smelling fresh and keeps your black tank healthy. So you can find that at Blue Compass stores across the country. So we step outside. It does have a weight assisted step. So you can see that there. Nice, not having to deal with the weight of that too much. 2 entry doors here, spot for a TV outside, and then they have slam latch baggage doors on this. Outdoor speakers here, 6-point hydraulic auto leveling with the really big foot pads there on those leveling stabilizers. Have your pass-through storage compartment here. Something I really like that Jayco does is you can see the astrofoil insulation under the subflooring there. That's something that almost no other brands do, so really like to see that. Then let's go ahead and go to the other side. We have outlets here. Got your 6,000 watt generator that will run this toy hauler if you want to power it off of a generator. Spot for batteries. And along this side, we have our Nautilus water management system, outdoor shower, and our auto leveling controls. Plus we have this 3-stage water filtration system that is going to be a filter and a water softening system. So definitely a really nice setup you have there for your water coming into the camper. And then we have your inverter. Tankless water heater. Specs on this one, the exact specs, we're looking at with your propane bottles full and everything else dry, it's 13,585 pounds. Fully loaded is gonna be 17,500 pounds with a 3,915 pound cargo carrying capacity. So definitely something I would recommend a 1-ton for. That's pretty much the case for any, big 40-foot plus toy hauler though, for sure. Cable driven slides on the big slide out box here, and then we have a Schwintek slide mechanism on the smaller slide out box. And we come around this way, let's see. Looks like on our fuel station here, we just have 1 fuel tank. So that's gonna be 30 gallons of fuel capacity there between your fuel pump and also split with your generator. Also looks like we have a couple different dump valves, so black and gray tanks up there for likely the bathroom, and then probably the kitchen sink as well. And then this here is probably the black and gray tank for your half bath in the back. It's possible the kitchen sink may be tied into that one though. Have your ladder to get up onto the roof. You can see how it goes flat up against the sidewall here. And then that is pretty much everything in this kind of like, a little bit faster tour than I normally do on a toy hauler like this. Oh, also you have this J-port spot right here. This is pretty cool. So you have this outdoor griddle that basically can slide into this port, giving you an outdoor kitchen space here. I really wish they brought these so we could have it on display for you to see, but comes with a Halo griddle cooktop, which is a really nice cooktop. So nice that when I saw it last year here at this Jayco event, I bought it myself for my camper. I saw it at Shields. And I really was impressed with it, and I've loved it. It's been great. It's a 2-zone, really large 22-inch griddle cooktop, and that's something that can slide into there to give you an outdoor cooking surface. You have Cooper H-rated tires. You also have the MORryde CRE 3000 suspension system, but I am surprised to not see like the added steel beam here for extra support down underneath here like we've seen on some other, even Jayco products themselves, but also other fifth wheel RVs in the market as well. And I told you I would find the bed size. It is a 66 by 80, so I was right. It's kind of like what they call this Olympic queen bed. So it's not a king size bed, it is this wider queen size bed. So not quite the width of a king, which would be 72 inches wide. This is 66 inches wide, but still a nice size. I was kind of struggling to get my thoughts together on this, and the more I've been thinking about it, it makes sense for me. The only thing that doesn't make sense about this toy hauler is it's kind of being listed as what I'm seeing with their marketing behind it as a luxury toy hauler. I wouldn't consider this a luxury toy hauler by any means with what we see in the marketplace. When my mind thinks luxury toy hauler, I'm definitely thinking things like a DRV Full House or a Brinkley Model G for sure. Definitely an Alliance Valor potentially, and even something like, what other brands? Oh my gosh. I don't know why they're not just coming to me, but nonetheless, this here is not those, which is okay. That's fine. I say that to give you like an understanding where this falls in those tiers. Those toy haulers, Brinkley's like $140,000. This is not that. So this is more also in the wheelhouse of kind of what my family would be looking for. The fifth wheel they own now is like a, $70,000 fifth wheel. My family does not camp in these big, $100,000 plus super luxury RVs. Now, it's not saying they might not want to in the future, but this here in this like $80,000 to $90,000 price range is much more palatable for someone like my family, and it might be for yours too. It's not right to say this is a luxury fifth wheel, and I didn't even say that for you guys. That's just something I'm seeing on the marketing materials that are here at this event. And so that's something where I just had to kind of, I don't know if you could feel me struggling with trying to like piece together what this product is supposed to be while we were going through it, but I definitely felt it in my mind. So I just wanted to mention that. I also want to point out anything that they talked about here that they might want you to know about. We talked about the lift assist on the patio door. We talked about the sink, the dovetail joints on the drawers. And then they have their H-rated tires. So yeah, okay, we talked about all that stuff. But that's it, just wanted to make sure you have an understanding of kind of where I was coming from in this video. Oh, 2 awnings on the outside too, and also 400 watts of solar up on the roof. But all in all, it's not, a bad toy hauler. I'm really curious what the price estimate on this is gonna be. So let me do some digging real quick and find out for you. Okay, so this here is kind of what I was expecting. It's gonna be a really competitively priced toy hauler. You're gonna be able to find something like this in like the $80,000 to $90,000 price range is what I'm seeing. They do have some that are listed as 2026s already at dealerships. They don't have this updated decal package and look on the outside yet. On the 2025 models, it actually had like the Jayco logo on the front cap. It was a big Jayco logo there. And now they've kind of switched all that up. So you will see some listed as 2026s that don't have all these changes in effect yet. But yeah, the prices I'm seeing on these are gonna be somewhere right in that like $80,000 to $90,000 price range, somewhere right around there, which is kind of where I would expect something like this to be priced at. So curious what you think. Let me know down below in the comments. And if you're looking for your next RV, there's a link down below in the comments and description that will help you find it with Blue Compass RV. So that'll be in the pinned comment down below as well as in the description. And we're here to help at over 100 different stores across the United States when you're ready to find your next RV. That's all I got for y'all. Until next time, live firmly unbound.